Do you know that the month of June possesses within it the energy to completely alter the course of your life? I know that that sounds really extra, but what if I told you that there's 6 things that you need to know this month that'll help you do just that? Sound interesting? Keep watching, my friend. Let's talk June. So it's the 1st of June. We're 6 months into the year, and 9 times out of 10, I'm probably sure that up until this very moment right now, except for like a few reprieves, you've probably felt like, what? I'm just being honest. You know it's true. Clearly, 2020 has not turned out the way that any of us expected it to turn out. I mean, I think that's pretty clear for anyone. But I'm not here to talk about what has gone awry for the last 6 months. What I'm here to talk about is the month of June and why the month of June is so important to your life as well as mine and the life of the entire collective at large. All of humanity. Yes, I'm being very dramatic. June is a month all about personal reflection and growth. I feel this is an opportunity where if you've been feeling disempowered, and many of us have, because I mean 2020. Am I right? Nobody saw Rona coming. You know what I'm saying? Rona reminds me of Katrina. Okay, I'm being triggered. We're back to the present. Moving right along. June is an epic turning point in 2020. And it's giving us the energy to pretty much set the stage for the rest of the year. Now, let me be clear when I say that. These are more or less energetic influences that can help us out or hinder us in some way, shape, form, or fashion. With all of that said, there's exactly 6 things that you, as well as I, the entire collective, can do in the month of June to help us make the most of these energies and to use them for our advantage. So, what are these 6 things? I'll tell you now. The first thing that you need to know this June is triggers. So I have to be honest here. You're going to be triggered this month, but for good reason. It's imperative to know that triggers are actually your friend. Now, when we talk about processing triggers, I'm actually not going to go into that here. If you're more interested in learning how to process triggers, you can go to my other channel, which is The Woke Therapist. The link should be below in the description box, and you can watch my video on how to process triggers. If you're a Reiki lover, you can go on over to Seren the Healer's channel, and you can watch her video that is Reiki for triggers. But I really should say, however, because but would completely nullify everything that I just said, and what I just said is really important. However, the reason that I say that triggers are your friends, because what's of utmost importance in the month of June is what lies beneath those triggers. So to put this in context, it's less about the actual triggering event, and it's more about what came up when you were triggered. This is the first of many things that are going to be important for you guys to put into your proverbial toolkit this month in June, because what lies beneath that trigger, my friend, oh yeah, that's transformation gold right there. You know what I'm saying? Good old fresh transformation gold. The second thing that's important to know is that the month of June offers us an opportunity for course correction. Some of you may or may not have ever looked at it this way, but the month of June, of course, is the 6th month, and we have 12 months in a year. So June is the midpoint of every calendar year. Energetically speaking, June acts as a major shift or a turning point in all of our lives. So we're offered the opportunity to course correct because we can take this time to look back to where we've been, we can look at where we are, and we can think about where it is that we want to go. And if we feel that what we've been doing up to this point doesn't quite align with where it is that we decide to go or want to go or plan to go, now would be the opportune time to course correct. Now, why would this be the opportune time? Well, my friend, that's because of eclipses. You know what I'm saying? We got 2 of those daddies this month. So we're talking about you guys utilizing the energy of these 2 eclipses. The first is going to be on June 5th, which is the full moon in Sagittarius. And the second is going to be, and that's a lunar eclipse, by the way. But then later on in the month, we have a solar eclipse with the new moon in Cancer. In the event that you don't know, new moons are opportune times to set our intentions for moving forward. The first eclipse will act as a reboot or a jumpstart to the latter part of 2020. But why this is so important is because it's intricately related to a very specific date, my friend. And that date is November 26th, 2019. Where were you and what were you doing November 26th of 2019? So let's think about this. November 26th, 2019. What changed, shifted, or occurred in your life on this day or somewhere around this time? I mean, it could even be the former part of that November, but for everyone in the collective, something very important happened here. Whatever that was or is, if it's still happening, is of utmost importance because it's going to act as a launching pad or an epic ending for you on or around the 5th of June. So check your iPhone notes, I don't know what you guys do on the Androids, your text messages, your DMs, something to refresh your memory, because these 2 points from November of last year till now, these two things will be mirror reflections of each other. So as I said, it's either going to be a launching or an ending. Those of you who are familiar with my book, The Woke Book, what is happening on this eclipse is very much like the process that we use in this book. It's more or less going backwards to go forwards. The third thing is facing your shadow or your demons, whichever one makes you feel less threatened. Facing your shadow is going to be the central focus of this particular month. Now, when we talk about facing your shadow, a lot of times this can sound really creepy and scary. That's why I say, shadow, demons, tomato, whichever one, feels better for you. You know what I'm saying? The reason why this is so important, because a lot like what I said with triggers of what lies beneath them is transformational gold. Facing your shadow or demons, whichever term you prefer, that is also another element of transformation gold. Those of you who are familiar with me know that I prefer a practical approach to just about everything. So we're not talking about you turning the lights off and staring at yourself in a mirror or something like that. What we're really talking about is looking back at the last 6 months. We're talking about looking back at December of 2019 and looking at your present and asking yourself questions like, do I like what I see? Or what would you like to see different in your life now? What emotions are you not acknowledging? What emotions are you not expressing? What friendships, relationships, behaviors, or patterns are hanging out well past their expiration date? Or probably the most soul-shaking question of them all, what are you willing to sacrifice to gain something or an entirely new life? If you've been feeling lost or confused or directionless or even hopeless, June really offers you an opportunity to completely transform the state of your life to give you meaning, a sense of identity. Yet it's going to require work. And if you're scared to face your shadow or demons, whichever term feels best, I can give you a word of advice. 9 times out of 10, the just needs a hug. The fourth important thing in the month of June is your mental health. This month is a great month to make your mental health and your own personal emotional healing a priority. And for some, this may mean finally deciding to start seeing a therapist. And for this reason, I've partnered with BetterHelp to assist you guys in finding a therapist that's right for you. With all of the chaos, confusion, and uncertainty going on in the world right now, coupled with our own personal daily struggles, now is definitely a great time to talk to someone who can not just be a listening ear, but can also help you with the what, the hows, and the whys that you're experiencing what you're experiencing. So if you or someone you know and love is going through something right now and feels the need for a little more help, I stress that you guys take advantage of this resource. Or any friendly local neighborhood therapist in your area. Because I mean, we're all pretty much online now, so just throwing that out there. The fifth most important thing to know this month, and this is where we get into the tea, ladies and gentlemen, is that hidden enemies will be exposed in the month of June. Yes, I said it. I just said it out loud. Hidden enemies will be exposed in the month of June. I'm being so extra right now. This month, it will be revealed that there is a Judas in your camp. Yeah, it sucks. I know. I feel you. I so feel you. However, what's even more creepy is that some of us are going to find that the Judas in our camp has actually been staring at us through the mirror for quite some time now. What do I mean by this? I mean that some of us are going to come to the realization this month that the Judas in your life was you. That's what I meant with the whole mirror analogy, like a mirror and you see yourself and never mind. Be conscious of jealousy and make sure that you're checking and rechecking your motives, meaning why you're doing what you're doing, why you're saying what you're saying. What is your intention? What do you hope to get out of it? Jealousy is important, not just from someone being jealous of you, but jealousy can help you unlock another transformative gold for yourself. So when we experience jealousy, it's really a hidden part of ourself or a suppressed part of ourself telling us that that's something that you want or something that you desire that on some level or another you started to believe could never be yours. Be mindful of escapism, emotional manipulation, and blame shifting in yourself as well as with others. And make sure that you pay special attention to your patterns. Are you feeling like you've been here before or that you've been here many times before? That's a telltale sign that this is a lesson that you've either ignored or have yet to really understand to be able to move forward from it. It's spirit's way or the universe's way, however you like to look at it, karma's way, whatever it is that you believe, of showing us that this is something that still needs to be dealt with. This is something that still needs to be understood. So don't let repetitive patterns discourage you. Oh, and another thing I think that some of you may like, if you've been wronged by someone, I mean blatantly wrong, like someone betraying you, stealing from you, falsely accused, reputation issues, things of the sort, as far back as 2016 up until 2019, who, my friend, for them in this beautiful June month, karma comes home to roost, baby. So talk about a catch-22. It's like that times, 1,000, depending on how far back, they wronged you. So, pray for them. We're all gonna pray for them. We gonna pray for them because, whew, ciao. And lastly, and most importantly, we have number 6, which is your secret weapon this month. Those of you who have been subscribed to my other channel for some time now have probably heard me say this more times than you recall or would like to recount, which is that your greatest superpower is your ability to choose. But did you know that you had a secret weapon? Yeah, I left that part out. But this secret weapon helps out that superpower, my friend. Do you know what this secret weapon is? Dramatic effect. Well, you guys know that I like allegory and stories, and I haven't been able to tell one yet, so I'm going to go ahead and slide that up in here now, the same way that your exes have probably been sliding into your DMs since Venus went retrograde. Hidden within the lore of Greek mythology, there is a story about 2 lovers, Cupid and Psyche. I feel like I should put something here now since I just did that. We'll see. If there's nothing there, please don't judge me. For those of you that don't know, Cupid is symbolic of the human heart, and Psyche is, of course, symbolic of the human mind, hence psychology. Just throwing it out there, just in case you didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? Just learn a little something new today. The more you know. Well, these two, if we fast forward a little bit of all of the trauma of their love story, they ultimately got married and had a child, and their child's name was Pleasure, aka Desire. So putting that into a more tangible, practically applicable concept, desire is the love child of the human heart and mind, or more specifically, a balanced mental as well as emotional state. And the byproduct of that is desire. And desire is the secret ingredient of every manifestation or ritual or goal that you set, vision that you have in your life. So why do I bring this up to you? Well, because the purpose of everything it is that we endure this month, all 5 things before this one, is to help you to unlock the desire in your life. All of these things are to guide you in the direction of balancing both your mental as well as emotional space so that you can also birth pleasure or desire in your life. Desire is the secret ingredient to us directing our will, of us being able to see the things that we truly want in our life. And that's really what this June is about. How it is that you guys transform, how it is that you guys course correct, how it is that you see a life vastly different from this one, is utilizing and piggybacking off of these energies that we have this month and the transits we have going on in the calendar and the sky, and using them for your benefit. This month, the universe is offering you a priceless gift to access your secret weapon and to use it to transform as well as revolutionize your life. But much like with many things in life, it comes with work. And I mentioned in the reading over on my other channel, Tarot Therapy, that a lot of people were probably wondering why in the Woke Book that I said this year was a harvest year, and thinking 6 months in, this doesn't look much like a harvest. Well, if we got real literal with it, think back to the olden days. I like saying that. If we think back to the olden days of when, agriculture and farming was a main industry, you think about plowing the land and planting the seeds and making sure that they're watered, making sure that they're getting sunlight. During those times, the reason why people had 12, 13, sometimes 20 churns was because they tended to the land. So you think about harvest time, before you can really benefit from the harvest that you're reaping, you first have to do the work. You have to go out into the fields from sunup to sundown. You need to pull potatoes out of the ground. You need to pick apples from trees and things of the sort, and take it back to the house and sort and separate, see which ones are good, which ones are bad, make some compost and things of the sort. Before you can really enjoy the reward, work has to be put in. And it's no different with us. 2020 is still very much a harvest year, despite everything that's transpired up to this point, and a lot of things that will continue to transpire. But one thing that you do have control over and will always have control over is yourself, your inner state, your mind, your heart, your emotions, your feelings. And never allow external situations to decree and declare who you are, how you are, or who you should be. That's your sacred space. That's something that you have power over, and that's a power that'll never be taken away from you. So I guess the biggest takeaway from this video is, are you willing to do the work? Have an amazing month, guys. I'll see you soon.